Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Open Book Besties. I'm Misty Walker here with my co-host,
Hey, Webster.
and we are again not going in with a plan.
Never. I feel like
Never.
if we have a plan, we don't listen to it anyway.
Yeah, true. And can I just say that, I forget the name of our own podcast every single time we start this. You guys have no idea what goes on before we hit the record button.
Well, what happens is we catch up with each other for a little bit and say some really funny jokes, and then we're all mad because we didn't record those funny jokes, and it's like we better record our talking.
Yeah. And it's usually a whole heck of a lot of scrambling with
Technology.
mics and
like mine, because I just rearranged my office. I have this little cord that goes to my mic, and it's just this little teeny tiny black cord, and it was missing. And I'm like, great, I need this. And I searched everywhere. I searched every little nook and cranny. And then I was like, it better not be in the attic, because I don't want to go in the attic. And lo and behold, I open the door to the attic and I hear this really spooky sound like, and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? And then I look over, and then there's that bag of cords, and I was like, I bet you it's in there. So I grabbed it really fast and I shut the attic door and I locked it, and then I went over to my desk, and there it was, just sitting right there in the basket. So I found it, but then I needed this thing, whatever this thing is, the muffler or whatever it's called, so that I don't sound so, Darth Vader-y.
yeah, you were sounding pretty breathy before that. It's like, hello. Just kidding. Yeah. Not that breathy.
Okay, good, because I was like, okay, because the last podcast, our producer Ty said that I needed to really get all up on that mic, like all up on it.
Yeah, you could probably scoot even closer right now, to be honest.
I'll scoot up a little bit. Here we go.
There you go.
Is that better? I can bring my book. There we go. Is that better? Okay. Yeah. I can turn it up all the way.
Make love to the mic.
Hello, hello, hello.
And you just switched around everything. So now you have this lovely little corner.
Yes, this is my studio.
Oh, you're so fancy these days.
But really, it's not that fancy. It's just vinyl, like sheets that I typed or hung up with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it made it look like it was wood on the wall from far away. I mean, I feel like from far away, you can't really tell that unless you're really looking.
It looks really pretty. I love it.
And I'm so proud. And then I didn't have to paint or anything. So
yeah. But 2 weeks ago, I switched mine so that I didn't have an ugly background. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm feeling so cool now. I have my books in my background. I mean, granted, there's still some ugliness with the boxes and stuff, but I was feeling so cool. And then you came up with this, and now I'm knocked back down.
Yep.
Second place.
Yep. Well, and that's quite a feat to become second place with me, because my stuff's always like special as can be, like my decorating. And I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I don't decorate very well. I just throw stuff out there and hope it looks good. And everybody else, like, you've shown me pictures of your house. It's all pretty. And mine, like, we have no decorations at all, because like on the walls, the only things that are hanging on the walls,
do.
But it's not like real decorations. It's like framed music albums and stuff. Like, it's not real.
Yeah, but that's you guys.
Maybe. And then upstairs, it's like chaotic clutter. It's organized clutter. Does that make sense? That's what the upstairs is. There is so much up here, but it's somehow sort of organized. But there's so much to look at. Like, I feel like a new person who hasn't been up here would just be like, oh, I got to look at all the things.
There is a lot, but I love it. I love all the spaces that you've created.
Yay. And pretty soon we're gonna outgrow this house and with my book stuff, and we're
You
gonna
really are.
And the next house I'm gonna have like built-ins on the walls. Like,
oh my gosh, that would be so nice.
Everywhere. And I saw another author who I think I saw it on Pinterest, or maybe they did it on Instagram. I don't know. But they had taken it almost looked like they converted a kitchen into their office. Oh. So they had a center island where they would package their books. Okay. Yeah. And then they had open cabinets up top where they like bookshelves. Okay. Like, yeah. So it was like bookshelves in there. And then the countertops, they had it where it goes, like a U shape. And in this corner was a desk, and in this corner was a desk. So nice. 2 people were working there, and then they had all that counter space, and then they had closed cabinets below. So it really was like a kitchen without the sink and the stove, but like that kind of layout. Yeah. I was like, that would be so cool for just like the office portion. And then like, if it went down further, then it could be more of like the storage. Yeah, like all the stuff. Yeah. I was like, man, that would be really, really cool. So I'll have to remember that one day when I'm trying to get, my big mansion. Yeah. You do need a bigger house though. You've outgrown yours. Mm-hmm. And luckily we live in Oklahoma, so the cost of living is like way cheaper than most places. So I'm gonna go find me this farmhouse or something and live my best life with goats. Yeah, out in the middle of nowhere. And books and goats. Yeah. I would really like to. We have this, when you walk in our front door, there's just this really awkward space that I have no idea what the builder was thinking, because it's the length of an entire room. So you would think that I think it's for a formal dining room, but I'm not even positive about that. And so I just have like my recliner in the corner, my bookshelf, and then our dining room. But the ceiling goes all the way to the roof, and it's a 2-story house. So it's, huge up top. And then we have a loft right above that. And I just think if we continued the flooring all from where the loft is, and then enclosed that room, and then just had a hallway going straight down to where the living room, and is any of this making sense? Mm-hmm. That could be like the perfect office for me. But Ty's like, you want me to erect another floor in our house? Yeah. Just so you can have an office? I'm like, yeah, I mean, is that too much to ask? He's like, he'd rather probably buy you a different house. I know. Yeah. I'm like, you and your dad can't do that in a weekend? What? I don't understand. That's so funny. Well, you need to get like a little mobile she shed or something, hook it to the back of the truck, carry it out to the property. Yeah, right. Just take it with me either here or there. We've talked about getting me like a little shed in the back, and maybe we will one day, because he is working in the loft. And so when the kids get home from school, it's like loud and he's trying to be on phone calls. So I'm thinking a she shed would be closer to reality than erecting another floor in our house. And I've seen people make, like other authors make cool she sheds that, because I think you can get those things at like, I don't know, Lowe's for not very much money. And your husband, he might not be able to erect a whole another floor or whatever, like you were talking about, but he could probably really, make an awesome she shed for you. Because he did that really awesome kitchen thing with his dad. And I feel like he could do this, and you can make it super cute. Yeah, I think so too. I'm gonna get on him about that. See, in Oklahoma, we can't have little she sheds, because when May rolls around, there'll be no sheds. Oh, yeah. Tornadoes will blow through and rip those out of the ground. Yeah, that's so true. That would be my luck. I would build this little she shed and put all this effort into it, and then gone the next tornado season. Oh my gosh, that would be so sad. I know. Well, and I told Matt, I said, I really want to move to the country. I keep pestering him like all the time. Yeah. I'm tired of hearing about it. But I said, we could build like this big shop and we could build a kitchen in there and a bathroom. And then we could get one of those really nice campers like Misty has. And then we could just live inside the camper, inside the shed or inside the garage thing or whatever, the shop. And my sister was like, you're going to have your camper inside the building? And I was like, yes. And she was like, why? And I was like, I don't want to be outside. Like, this made like perfect sense to me. And Matt was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And Holly's all over here like, what is wrong with you people?
I love that Holly's the voice of reason between you two. Yeah.
Yes.
If I had a she shed, it would be like 85 degrees in there at all times. I'd have like heated floors and I like bookshelves all around. Oh, it would be amazing. It's only been like a month and I'm already tired of being freezing. I cannot warm myself up.
See, I'm ready to get rid of this heat and move on into the holidays. I know we've talked about this a lot, but I am really ready for the holidays, to the point that I just spent an insane amount of money on sprinkles. And what I showed you was not all I bought. I bought more.
Oh
no. And one has already come in and I was like, oh my gosh, I was so excited. It had like all these little pretty little things. And there's just, I don't know. I want to, I'm on a diet, but I'm going to bake. I'm going to bake and bake and bake. I'm so excited to bake. And I want to like Christmas shop, and I want to like, listen to Christmas music. I don't know. I'm so ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
So are you not going to eat any of your baked goods?
Oh yeah, I'm going to eat them.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm going to eat really good the rest of the time so that I can eat these baked goods when I make them.
Yeah.
So, but mostly I want to get in there and just bake. Like, it's fun. Like, when, especially like, okay, so like me and Holly, we and my mom too, we'll get together like around the holidays and bake cookies right before like Christmas Eve or something. So we'll have lots of little snacks for the kids and stuff. And because we do like a little get together. And I don't know, we used to involve the kids, and it would be like this big ordeal.
Yeah.
But then we realized they complained a lot. They made a big giant mess. Right. And it was always like they didn't want, it was like, oh, can we do this? Oh, can we do that? Can we go play outside? We're bored. And after a while, it was like, y'all are sucking the joy out of this. So I think it was last year, it might have been the first year, but me and Holly were like, what if we baked without the kids? And she was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So we did it, and we had so much fun. It was just no stress, we just, and the kids played. And they played with each other and they hung out, but we didn't make it a thing with them. And they came in and sampled treats and, bugged us here and there. But like the project was ours, and we didn't like make it this thing that involved all of them and forced them to be crafty when they're not. Right. And it was so much fun. And so I'm looking forward to doing that again, and just, just chit-chatting and baking things. And I feel like I've upped my game on my cooking. So I feel like I'm ready to here.
You've become a chef over the last few months.
I know. I really have. I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but dang, girl.
Yeah. I'm going to reach through there and pat you too, because you're doing awesome.
And me, I am very like all or nothing.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times I start full steam and then I peter out.
Yeah.
And for me to be doing this for like 6 weeks in of just constant cooking and meal planning and grocery shopping and cleaning out my cabinets and really and trying to eat better, I feel like I've made it a lifestyle change. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that a lot of it was like, I wasn't confident in the kitchen. Remember like my very first time to try to cook chicken for the audience who's listening, I was DoorDashing 7 days a week.
7 days a week, yeah.
Easily. So not only was that really ridiculously expensive, it wasn't, when you get ordered in food, it's just not as good as when you go to the restaurant, and you can get Cheesecake Factory, but it's just not it's cold because by the time, because it's far away or whatever. So we would get all these things, and then by the time it would get to us, it would be just like rubbery and, because we live out kind of far from all the good restaurants. And it was like, why are we spending all this money on just blah food? And we were just feeling gross. And now that I've been cooking, even though it's a little bit, stressful sometimes because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm just winging it, I'm so happy afterwards because we don't feel just all like, bleh, and it tastes good. And I feel like, we're putting good stuff into our body, and I don't know what it is. Like I was feeling more energetic, and I thought it was because I was like working out a little bit. I think it's the food, because Matt has been more energetic too and doing stuff lately, and he has like back problems and stuff. And so for him to feel energetic, I feel like maybe the food was really weighing us down.
Yeah.
I mean, like all the toxic junk that's in all of that stuff,
Yeah. Because even when you eat at there's really no difference in the nutrition value of eating from McDonald's or, Cheesecake Factory. It's all just crap.
Right. Lots of, fried stuff. And
yeah.
So anyway, I've been cooking for my family, but as I've been doing this, it makes me realize that I don't have all of the stuff that I need to be a proper chef.
Yeah. So like $130 worth of sprinkles.
I know. And and I bought, what did I buy yesterday that was totally unnecessary? And it came in the mail and I was like, oh, well, one was that food saver thing that I bought, and it vacuum seals your food. And so I'm really excited to meal prep with
If you need any tips or tricks, hit up Ty because he's addicted to his food saver.
Really? Okay. I'm going to ask him because I'm going to have some tech support questions.
Yep. He's got you.
I was like, I'm going to do this because, and then my friend Erin, she meal preps and she makes like soups and she does them like individually, so that, and then she freezes them and then she vacuum seals those little like 1 cup of soup or whatever. So then whenever it's a night that she doesn't feel like cooking and everybody's just kind of whatever, she just says, okay, who wants this and who wants this? And they all just get their own little soup and she heats it up and puts some fresh ingredients with it or whatever, if it's like chicken tortilla or something. And then she, it was like in the microwave. It didn't even take that long. And so I was like, this is a fantastic idea. I have to get smarter on, because you're being an author and working from home. Even if you're not an author, when you work from home, your hours never end. You're always working. So it's really hard to just cut off working and then jump into mommy mode and let's do this and let's do that. And so the more shortcuts that we can take, the better for me, you. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there, that were like me, was, you'd be working and you'd look up and it's 6:00 and you're still working and the family needs to be fed. And then it was like, okay, DoorDash, And so this has been an adjustment for me because it's been taking a lot more time that I obviously don't think I have, but I've been making time for it. And it's, if I could, make some meals ahead, I think that would really help. So
yeah, it would be just as easy as picking up your phone and
easier
making a DoorDash order,
And it would taste better because it would be hot, it would be fresh, everybody would still get whatever they wanted. And Avery, she really loves McAllister's, and we like it from time to time, but she wants it like every single day, and it's like, no, we can't have that every day. And she only wants it because of the macaroni, which personally, I'm not a fan of their macaroni. I took a bite one time and I was like, bleh. But she loves it. And I told her on Sunday, I said, how about I learn how to make like a copycat recipe of this, and we'll get this, get it to where we can maybe freeze it in little individual things. And then she can, when she's wanting it, she can thaw it out and microwave it or whatever. So I found a freezable make ahead macaroni type thing. So we're going to try it. It might be a fail, but I figure we're going to try it anyway.
You had a lot of fails early on, but you haven't had a lot anymore. Like, you have really done, I'm just really proud of you. I think you've done an amazing job.
Thank you. Yesterday I made tuna steak. for lunch.
Wow, for lunch.
And Holly was like, "What are we eating?" And I was like, "I don't know. We're gonna experiment." And I was like, "If it's not good, there's sandwiches." And she was like, "Okay." And then I made it, and she was like, "Chrissy, that was really good." Like, she wasn't, it's different because it's like a steak, but with a kind of fishy taste.
Yeah.
But it, and then you have to cook it kind of where it's still red in the
still red. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was the part that we were both kind of having trouble wrapping our head around, but it did turn out, good. I'm going to try it again and, experiment with some flavors. So
nice. That's awesome.
So next time you come visit me, I'm actually going to
cook for me.
Yes, I'm going to cook for you. We're going to have good stuff.
No more dinners of despair.
No, how embarrassing. I think back that I can't believe I made you eat that. That was so terrible.
That was literally the worst. We had one night where we didn't have plans like to go out or anything, and we weren't like starving, we're just a little bit hungry, and it was like sandwiches or these things that you had in your freezer that were supposed to be like, I don't even know,
no carbs or something.
Yeah, it was chicken, like instead of a tortilla, it was like processed flattened chicken that was like wrapped around stuff.
Yes.
And when I tell you, it was the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life.
I was like, what are we doing? Terrible. Why are we eating this? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. He fed me well every other time.
That's okay. And I hook you up with coffee, so that's all that matters, right?
Yeah, coffee is the only thing that matters, literally.
And I told Jessica that the next time she visits that we're gonna make charcuterie boards.
Ooh, fun.
So she's like, I don't know if you guys know this about her, but she is like amazing at like appetizer food presentation and all that kind of stuff. And so if you've seen her like with her kids' birthday parties, they are like so impressive. Like I can't even begin to tell you how impressive these birthday parties are. She goes,
I've seen pictures.
Yes. And then when she has like get-togethers with her friends and stuff, we don't have get-togethers with friends because we don't
we don't have friends.
But we can live vicariously through Jessica. But yeah, they have she like makes a spread on the table with like all this fun looking delicious beautiful things, and I'm like, so next time she comes and visits, I told her we're going to do this and, show everybody how we can learn from her and watch her do it. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun.
I books at the same time.
Yeah. I would never make one, but it's fun to watch other people do it.
Well, you never know. You might make one for like Christmas or something. If you had like a family, like if you had family in town, it might be something fun to do. Like how we have like little finger foods and stuff. It just might be something fun. And they have different kinds. Like she makes some that are like candy and stuff for the kids.
Dessert and
there's all these different themes. So I thought that would be really fun to do, like and I don't know, and just like go live with it or something, and then show people and then talk. I don't know. I thought it'd be fun. So
I've never made one, but I've done a lot of research on them because Kian loved a good charcuterie. So
yes. And I loved that about that book. I was always, I had it like it pictured in my mind what he was serving. I was like, oh.
That's the extent of my charcuterie knowledge, is what Kian did.
Well, I made one for my sister's baby shower, Julie, when she had Kingston, and it was nothing like Jessica's, but I was proud of myself. And everybody's like, oh, that looks good. And I was like, thank you. But it was kind of like the Walmart version, and Jessica makes like the Saks Fifth Avenue version, So like someone would have paid for mine, but it would have been like $10 that they would have paid for it.
Instead of 100.
Yeah, with hers, they're gonna pay a lot more than 100. I mean, she puts like exotic looking stuff on there that I've never even seen, like cheeses and nuts and meats that that I've never even, I don't even know what it is, olives and all kinds of stuff. But it's cool, and I would totally be down for trying it.
Yeah, so it'd be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of things that are fun to watch, you have a new project going on.
Yes. Yes. I've been doing.
So for those who haven't seen, explain it to us what you've been doing.
Okay, so I've been doing this Amazon live stream thing. They basically, a couple of years ago, they asked me if I wanted to be an Amazon influencer, and I just guess I ignored their email and I just forgot about it. And then back then I was not ready. Okay, I was not ready. And then I met a girl who is an Amazon influencer, and she's like, you could totally do this. It would be fun, blah, blah, blah. It'd be good for your books and stuff. And I was like, that's a great idea. I could do this. And so then I was like, oh, I think I'm an influencer already. I remember seeing this email. So I pull out the email and they're like, oh yeah, you got canceled because you never did it. It's been 2 years, lady. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I emailed them and I was like, I'd really like to do this again if that's okay. And they're like, okay. So they reinstated my access or whatever. And basically Amazon has this thing which I never even knew existed. But if you look, when you get on Amazon and you look at the little bar, it says Amazon Live or Amazon Live, something like that. And if you click on it, it has all these like live videos. And it's basically kind of like lifestyle bloggers who talk about the stuff that they use and things like that. And so there's a lot of like cooking and, cooking shows on there, and just like tech shows where people show all their little gadgets and fashion and stuff. But there really isn't any book stuff. My friend Erin, she does some book interviews and stuff, like a couple times a month or whatever. And so she interviews people and that's cool. But other than that, there's nothing out there really. So I've been trying to do like a book segment and talk about books and do it by theme and talk about other people's books that I loved, my books that I've written. And then also like some goodies, because before I even did this, I've always been a kind of person, like if I get something, I want to show you, like, isn't this cool? Look what I did. La, la, la. I love it. Or, look at my shirt. Isn't this fun? Like, I'm very show and tell. And so this is kind of cool for me because now whenever I get my little goodies, I can show and tell you guys about it. And I don't know, it's fun for me. And so I was a little overzealous when I decided I was going to do these Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because that was a lot of planning, and that's a lot of content to come up with. 3 hours a week worth of content, which
that's a lot.
Right. And then Amazon, they want you to like show the products too. And so if I don't have the product, I need to order it or whatever. Oh, there's a dog.
Oh, that just walked himself right in. That door was closed, mister, for a reason.
How cute. But yeah, they now I don't even remember what I was saying. That was it. The end.
Oh, okay. So are the lives are they live only visible while you're live, or can people go back and watch?
They can go back and watch them. Like if they go to, if they're listening, if they go to kwebster.live, we tested this out and it worked, right?
Yeah.
Webster.live. It'll take it right to the storefront, which is different than my author page. Like this is like a influencer page. And so basically, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, it'll show my most recent live stream. And then it'll also say, do you want to watch the previous live streams? And you can click on that and it'll show you all of them. And so, people can go back and look at them. I've done like a dark romance one. I've done a forbidden romance one. I've done a romance one. I did one where I did a tour of my office and talked about, all the stuff that I got for my little corner over here.
Yeah.
And some other ones. Oh, I just did aliens. And this week, in fact, me and Avery, my daughter, we're going to make s'mores on the next live stream.
Oh, that'll be so fun. Yeah. When is that one?
That one's going to be on Thursday. So I've changed it up. Instead of doing it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I'm going to try and shoot for like Thursdays and see how that works. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm still like trying things out to see what works, but we're going to do Thursday and we're going to talk about like kid books and stuff and YA books and things like that. Like, cause she's got some books that she likes, and we can talk about them while we make s'mores. And I thought that would be so much fun. And we could talk about like what she wants for Christmas and all of that.
She's gonna love that.
She is so excited.
Yeah.
So like with my son Matthew, I was like, oh, we could do one with your manga and your anime stuff. And he was like, no. I was like, oh, dude, you've got like so much like book stuff that's this could make a whole show. And he's just
shy.
Yeah. So I thought, well, me and Avery will try it out, and hopefully it goes okay. And hopefully, I mean, she's a little ham. She likes to get in front of the camera. So
yeah, she does. She's like Mabel. They don't mind being the center of attention.
Not at all. No, that is their role in our families.
Yeah. Speaking. Oh, and there's the producer right there. Shutting my door for me. I told him, I'm like, Dutch just literally opened the door. That was shut.
Dutch was like, can't keep me out.
Yeah, that's the second time he's done that. Anyway, he's gonna get on the phone, and his voice is so loud and booming that I'm like, you better shut that door before you go get on the phone, because otherwise we're all gonna be part of your conference call.
Right. Well, what's funny is Matt listens to the TV really loud because he's, all those concerts have made him a little bit deaf,
a little hard of hearing.
Yeah. And he, I was doing a live stream the other day, and in the middle of the live stream, I had to run downstairs and tell him to turn the TV down because it was so loud. I could hear it in my live stream. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not okay. And he was like, oh, sorry. So he turned it down, but I was like, oh my gosh, it was, yeah. And I don't know how these people who podcast all the time and live stream all the time, especially if they've got people at home like we do, I don't know how they deal with barking dogs and doorbells ringing. And
yeah, I don't either. I have no idea. I don't know how you make your house soundproof, because I just heard Ty lugging the garbage truck down, or the garbage can up into the side of the yard. And I don't know, man. I try. It's easier that we're doing it without the kids home. Well, my kids, you still have one at home, but yeah, I don't know. It's impossible.
Oh yeah. I give up. I totally forgot that they were at school. I forgot my own kid was at school. Well then.
Oops.
I did a little quick check to the clock to make sure it wasn't time to pick her up. We're good. Be the first time.
I was going to say, did you even take her?
Yeah. She's at school. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Mabel. So Mabel got her first vaccine last night, and she woke up this morning and she was so cranky, and she was just begging me. She's like, Mom, just let me stay home. We can watch, the show that we've been watching together all day long. We can just be nice and cozy. It'll be so fun. Please just let me stay home. And I'm like, no. And then on top of that, she ran late. And so she's like, do my hair. I'm like, what do you want me to do? 2 French braids into a bun and blah. And I'm like, dude, we have like 5 minutes before you have to leave for the bus. I cannot possibly do all of that. So she got mad about that. And then she texted me 10 minutes after I dropped her off at the bus stop. Our bus just broke down on the side of the road, and now I'm going to be late for school. I told you I should have stayed in bed.
Oh my gosh, poor kid.
I know, she's having a rough day. But I wanted to tell you one other story that you've already heard, but I feel like our audience would like to know. So we were watching a TV show, and just out of nowhere, she turned to me and she goes, Mom, you know what? You should write a book about a kidnapper, and the girl that he kidnaps falls in love with him. I'll bet your readers would love that. I was just like, I didn't know what to do. Like, you are 12. How?
That's hilarious.
So I was just like, yeah, you're right. That would be good. I don't know what to say.
She is your kid made over.
I know. It was so funny. Anyway, I had to tell that story.
Like, been there, done that. No.
Yeah, exactly. You only have a slight clue what Mommy does, right? Oh, and then her friend found my TikTok somehow and then sent her friend and then sent her a link to my account and was like, is this your mom? And Mabel's like, Mom, my friends are finding you on TikTok. And I was like, give me all of their handles. I will block all of them.
Oh my gosh, how embarrassing for the kids. You know, I don't know. For me, it's the opposite. It's not that I'm afraid for like my kids' friends to find me and that's embarrassing or for them or whatever. It's that like I have a lot of nieces and nephews and they like to pop onto my lives and just troll me, you know, like in a not a mean way, but it's just like, you know, and Christy, hi, it's so-and-so. Hi, it's so-and-so. I'm like, I'm trying to work. Go watch Peppa
Pig. Go watch Peppa Pig. Oh, that's funny. I have never been in a situation where a parent has known what I do. I mean, back in Washington, my friends who had kids my kids' age, they knew, but I've never been have my kids out in the wild with people I didn't know before I started writing and then have them find out. So I'm interested to know if that's going to happen and how it will go. Like, will other parents judge me because of, you know, my content?
Nah, I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like if they do, that's just on them, you know?
Yeah, it would make me sad if like they withheld their kid from mine because.
No, this is what you need to do. When they say, she said that you wrote these, you know, raunchy romance books and blah, blah, blah. And you'd be like, yes, I'm an author. Isn't that wonderful? Oh my gosh, it's been awesome. And I am just doing so well. You know, did you ever know that you would know an author like me? You know, like, I don't know. I would just like play it to be like, aren't you excited for me? Praise me, okay?
Okay.
Like, do you want my autograph? Practice. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, did you want a book? I have some in bed.
Hold on, I'll go get you a signed book. Should I make it out to Becky?
Oh, there's a little girl that she sits with on the bus, and her mom always walks her to the bus stop too. And so we talk every day. And then she was talking about these kids that were unruly and getting out of control, and how they swear. And she's like, I don't know about you, but I don't want my kid listening to curse words. And I was just like, totally, I would hate that.
Right? You're like, oh yeah.
I have the mouth of a sailor and I don't hide it from my kids.
So yeah, she thinks that you're one of her, but you are not one of her.
Yeah. So hopefully hopefully she doesn't become better friends with that kid, because that could go really wrong.
Lady will be like, I thought you guys were good.
Oh well. We'll see. How's Avery doing at school? She's doing good.
She's doing good. She had some people kind of bullying her a little bit, so she had to, you know, have a talk with the principal and all that. So it was.
Aww.
But then after that,
whose ass do we need to kick?
Right.
I'm getting on a plane.
Well, she's got enough of her daddy in her that she was like, before I went to go visit the principal, I made a list of names. I was like, you go, girl.
That's awesome.
She's like, you know, presenting her list here. Okay. She said, because I didn't want to forget anybody. And I was like, okay, all right. But since then, she's done better. So hopefully she's okay for now.
Good.
Kids are mean.
Kids are mean.
And
they're all dicks.
Yes, they are. And honestly, it's like, and then our kids that get picked on or whatever, they are so emotional about it. And I think back to when I was a kid and I was so emotional, you know, why are they picking on me? Yeah. And then I like, you want to tell your little self, like, nobody cares about these people like in 20 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. And the stuff that they're saying is just dumb, you know, like if you just ignore them, it doesn't even matter. Like, why do we even care what they think, you know? I don't know. But obviously we had all this life experience and you know.
They're not going to listen to their mommies.
Right, exactly.
Because we just don't understand.
I know, but I wish I could go back to like my, you know, young teenage self and be like, girl, in like 20 something years or how many ever, I'm not good at math. When you become a 40-year-old lady, you aren't going to care about any of this stuff. And you are going to just be doing your own thing. And none of this is going to matter, you know?
Yeah.
Don't get upset. But, you know, we can't do that.
No. Probably be a different person if you could, though.
No, I would be unstoppable.
Yeah. Your ego would fill your house.
I would be a superhero.
What does your coffee cup say today?
It says, oh, it's kind of dirty. It says, I turn books into coffee. Or no, I turn coffee into books. I said it backwards. You know what I mean? Oh, that would be pretty magical.
Brewing your books.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Yeah, I almost said it wrong again. I turn coffee into books. Coffee into books.
Yeah, which is the most accurate thing ever.
Oh, and speaking of coffee and books, tomorrow I'm going over to my friend Erin's house at 1. We're going to do a live stream interview at her house. She's going to be interviewing me. That's how we met, is because she signed me up for this. And she has this like espresso machine. And I hope she makes me some espresso. And then I don't know what will happen if I have espresso. I feel like I can really conquer the world.
Yeah. And then your next Amazon Live will be all about your brand new $1,000 espresso machine.
And Matt will be like, Christy, what is wrong with you?
This is getting out of control.
I'll be like, ooh, I can zoom now. I really am curious if, you know, what a shot of espresso will do for my anxiety.
Why is it that the most anxious people are addicted to coffee?
That's probably why we're anxious, because we're addicted to coffee.
True.
Probably if we could wean ourselves off, we'd be like, wow, we're not so anxious anymore. I wonder why.
I can stop taking my anxiety meds. This is so weird.
We don't have caffeine running through our veins anymore.
I'll stick to the caffeine.
There's a lot of stuff, you know, like that I would be willing to give up. Like I can give up sweets and things like that and eat healthier and give up all the DoorDash and all that. But please don't ask me to give up my coffee.
Yeah.
My coffee ain't hurting nobody.
Right.
It's just not hurting anybody. You know?
You have to keep like that one vice. You know, you just have to. Otherwise, it won't feel worth it anymore. You know,
coffee is definitely like my feel good. I don't know. I think I put too much love into it because like I feel like if I don't have it, then I'm incomplete. Yeah.
It's a personality trait at this point.
Right? It totally is. Kind of like Jessica and her wine and me and coffee. Although when she comes to visit me, we have a break from the wine and she goes on a coffee bender.
Yeah. A little wine detox and coffee bender.
And then she's like, by the time I get home, I have to like wean myself back off this like coffee like high that I'm on. So I'm like, here, want some more coffee? Here, want some more coffee?
It's coffee time. So speaking of turning coffee into books, what are you working on right now?
I'm working on Triple Threat, and it is a slow burn, which I was surprised by, but considering it's a reverse harem type trope, in order to do it justice, I really needed to do that because I need to get inside everybody's heads and not just fly through the storyline.
Right.
And so as a writer, and I don't know if you do this, but when you're writing, do you constantly the whole time go, is this too slow? Is this too boring? I'm bored. Are they bored? They're bored. They're bored. Everybody's bored. Oh my gosh. Why am I even doing this? And then, you know, you peter off and don't really, you kind of just like panic. And so it's slow burns. Whenever I write them, do that for me. Like I kind of panic, like, is this going too slow? Is this, whatever. But then when I read back through it, I'm so thankful that I suffered through it, because it does turn out good and it's meatier, and it adds more to the story. But at the time, those are more difficult to write, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. It's gratifying to write the exciting scenes and the steamy scenes, and those are, but the other part is just as important. It's just not as gratifying, and you just constantly doubt yourself, thinking, is this boring? Because there's no action and there's no sex going on. So is it boring? I totally get it.
Exactly. Yeah, because when you write those steamy scenes, or the the suspenseful scenes or whatever, or the ones with lots of like snappy dialogue or whatever, they go fast.
Mm-hmm.
When you're writing, like, you're trying to build up their inner or their backstory and all this stuff, and you're trying to like make all these threads kind of come together. It is boring.
Yeah.
So, but then
you
you through it, and then it's not
right.
So
yeah, I don't understand how that works, but yeah, when you read back through it, you're like, oh, this is witty. Oh, this is, I can feel, something brewing between them. And like, you feel all of the emotions, but writing it out, it's just like, this is a snooze fest.
Right. Well, and that's why it's fun to like write a novella in between these kinds of stories or something, because then you kind of condense a story into a smaller book, and everything does move a lot quicker, and I do like to do those, because then I get my gratification. I don't know if you're the same.
Yeah, it literally is. It's like a hit of dopamine or whatever, just to like get that little whatever it is, sexy scene or action scene.
Exactly. What about you? What are you working on?
Well, I was working on the next Briggs Ferry Bay, which is teacher student and like all kinds of forbidden. And that was going really well until I realized the holidays are coming up, and I have another biker book that's releasing in February, and I should probably do that.
Yeah.
So I started on that. I'm not too far in. I think I'm like 7,000 words in, but it's going to be the darkest book I've ever written. And
which is saying a lot, because I've read the other books in your biker series, and they're dark.
Are they? I guess I just barely proofed the audio for Birdie's Biker, and there are a lot of scenes in there that I was like, whoa, I really put that in there. Like, I was surprised at how dark it was. I guess I kind of forget. But yeah, this one's going full like pitch black. It's good. It's really intense, but it's good, and I'm excited for it.
I'm excited too.
And Bexley's Biker just released, and it did really well. And yeah, as soon as I can get over the end of the month, then I'm going to be diving back in. And I even set my editing date so that I have a deadline, and I will force myself to do it. And yeah, that's what I'm working on.
You're doing good. I realized that I have an anthology story due in, I don't know, like less than a month. I was like, oh, so
it has to be edited?
I think maybe they're gonna edit it, like the anthology.
Okay.
But
okay.
And actually the story I'm really excited to write, it's MM, and it's for the Heart to Heart anthology, and it's got like really awesome MM authors in it that I'm really excited to be with, and we kind of basically all of the readers submitted like character names and jobs and like all this stuff, and then we got to go in and pick whatever we wanted for our characters, and then basically they'll give credit to whoever got chosen or whatever. it just makes it more interactive and fun.
Yeah.
And my story is going to be epic. It's going to be about basically two people who would never get lost. And I mean, because their personalities won't allow for it. And so it's going to be quirky and cute, and I'm just excited. I can't wait to write it.
Oh, that's exciting. What's the genre? Like what?
I would say it's a like contemporary.
Straight up contemporary.
Yeah, I mean,
that'll be fun.
Yeah, I kind of like I'm trying to think what I could just I don't know, like maybe the sweetness of like He Made Me Stay, but not the darker elements of it, but like the the cute character interactions that they had and how that well they meshed, and but they're both kind of like had their issues, and this will be the same way. These characters will have their issues, but it'll be fun watching them overcome them, and it'll be a challenge to do that in 10 to 12,000 words.
Yeah, that's always a challenge.
Right, but I'm excited, and maybe I don't know what'll happen. A lot of times I just write these little short stories, and then people are like, "You gotta write more," and I'm like, "No."
Yeah. Have you ever expanded on a novella?
I have. I did with Dane. It was it was just a little Christmas story, and then I added to it, and then I also added to Red Hot Winter.
It was right, because that was just audio.
Right, and then those are the two off the top of my head that I can think of, but I don't do it often because I basically write that story like trying to make it as complete as possible in that little time frame. So I don't, Oh, and then same thing with Hood River Rat. I kind of
right.
And I guess that was more of I just did the readers dirty and left them on a cliffy, but
yeah.
But then I wrote the full book, and then it wasn't a cliffy, so that was sad for those people who read that and had to wait.
That was really sad. Yeah. I was one of them. I was one of those sad people.
What was funny is I had it end on this one part, and it was like not that good of a cliffy, and so I begged and let them give me a few 8,000 more words so I could end it on a really good cliffy, and they were like, "Sure, yeah, okay." So I did it, and I was like, "That's so evil."
I have a hard time not writing a full story. So when I write a novella, most of the time I'm probably going to expand it. Just because I feel like I'm not ready to ever leave those characters, because it's just so like wham bam, thank you ma'am, and like, wait a minute, I want to cuddle.
Yeah. I mean, I do, and I miss the characters, and so like on the Love Trips, which is in that A Final Family Affair anthology that I did. Like I love their little story, and it's so short and to the point because it's for the anthology. But if I thought I could expand on that, I might, because it was cute. So
ready for another full length Taboo.
I know, and I am telling myself that that's going to happen in 2022, and I want to write and expand more in the wild world. So I put a little bit of a little snippet in the back of the Wild and Free Collector's Edition of what I want to do. And so I just need to sit down and actually write it, but it would be Taboo. So, and we get to see everybody again. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
I just don't want to make any promises until I don't want to tell anybody about it until it's done. So then I can be like, surprise.
Yeah. Except for you just did tell people.
Right. Cause oops. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be like teaser for it or whatever,
Right. Yeah.
Because then everybody will be like, did you write it yet? Did you write it yet? Are you gonna write it yet? Did you write it yet? And I'll be like, I can't take the pressure. I'm melting.
And then your opposition defiance disorder would kick in, and you'd be like, I don't even want to do it now.
I'm not writing this book ever. You can't make me.
Those characters live with Zeke now.
Yeah. Oh, Zeke. Yes. anytime. And it's really sad. It's just, Zeke is just one of those stories that I just could not, I have like 20,000 words on the second part of the book. I just can't make it go anymore. And I don't know. I almost considered releasing it as like bonus scenes or something, but still to this day, people are like, is there going to be any more Zeke? And I just tell them, and I just tell them now, Zeke died.
Zeke's dead.
And they're like, what? And I'm like, I'm sorry, but he died.
Yeah.
He ain't coming back. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's so funny. Yes, it's been a while, and still to this day, you get that question about.
Right. And I feel bad because, you know, as readers, like, you know, when I have an author and they write something and I like it, and then they can't write more of it, I'm disappointed. And I'm like, oh, why aren't you going to write more? But, you know, when you're the writer, you totally understand, because if you can't make it work, you're just, I could literally sit down and fly through a really good book that I really want to write in just like 2 weeks flat if I was really motivated, you know, like that's how The Wild, it came out really fast. But if you sit and try to make me do something that I don't want to do, it'll take months and months and months and months and months. And I'd rather. And
you could do it, like you could push it out, but it wouldn't be.
Right. I'd rather spend that.
Be you.
Yeah, I'd rather spend that exciting energy on something I really want to write that the readers are also going to love. They just don't know that. So.
Right.
Yep.
So we are getting to the end. I felt like that hour just kind of really flew by.
It really did. And let me say something really quick.
Okay.
For all of the listeners who follow this subject weekly, we discovered another person in Misty's camp.
Oh yes, we did.
What is this thing called?
The Aphantasia camp.
Right, where they don't visualize the story in their heads.
Don't visualize anything,
Right. And it came from the most unlikely sources. My son, he could not believe that I could visualize the story in my head, like was blown away. And I was like, wait, you don't see that? And he said, no. And he said, why do you think I don't like to read books? And I said, you have lots of books. He said, yeah, they have pictures, like the manga and stuff. He said, it helps me visualize what's happening. He said, I don't understand how you can just look at all these words and like see what's happening. I was like, oh my gosh. And I could have withheld that information from you, but no, I confessed.
You told me. Yeah. And I was so excited, and I'm going to have us shirts made.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. He's going to love that.
I'm sure he'll wear it every single day, but it makes me so happy to have a little bit of Webster in my camp.
Yep. And now my husband, I went and asked him, and he was like, and Avery too, they both were like, no, we're like you, but Matthew was like you are. So I thought that was really, really interesting. And, you know, it really just blew my mind because I wasn't expecting someone in my own family to be that way.
He's in the cool kids club.
Right. So anyway, that was funny. I figured that the listeners would probably think that was an interesting little update.
Yeah. When my parents were here last week, we were talking about it, and my dad doesn't, but my mom does visualize. And then, you know, Mabel does and Ty does, but Lorelai doesn't. Really? So I have, my family's pretty split down the middle.
I'll have to start asking my extended family because I don't know about them, but it's weird that your oldest child and my oldest child are the same, you know?
Yeah.
So, and their personalities they have a lot of similarities.
Similar too, yeah.
So
that's why there are weeds.
Yeah.
We got to move them into a little weed camp, and they can ignore the world and play games forever and ever.
Yep.
Ultimate plan.
Right. Oh, our kids, you know, they're not ready for this world.
No, not ready for this world either. So what are you reading or listening to right now? You've been really busy.
I have been really busy. I've been to the bookstore and I've bought books. I'm trying to even think. I bought some graphic novels. I bought this book about pandemic and like it looks like it's nonfiction. I don't know. It looked really interesting, but I haven't been reading that much, like at all. And it's because I have just been so busy. And that is no excuse.
You've been really busy.
But I haven't even listened to audiobooks. And I've been I haven't been doing any reading at all. And I think it's because
about when you cook?
I've just been standing there.
Oh.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I know. I think it's because my brain is just going like 90 to nothing lately that I can't even think about anything except for what I'm going to do next.
Yeah.
And so I can't shut my brain off. And it's coming to a point where I'm kind of like easing up some things that I've been doing, and I can kind of hopefully slow down a little bit. But I do have a deadline that I'm working on. So I think once I get past that, then I can relax a little bit. So and read.
Yeah.
Well,
the last couple of weeks have been kind of slow, but I did listen to, hold on a second, I gotta bring it up. I kind of binge listened to Gianna Darling's Fallen Men series because it came to audio, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need Daddy Zeus in my ears. So I binge listened to that series, and it was just as good as it was the first time I read it. And now I'm listening to Mafia Bride by CD. How do you say her last name? Reese? Reese? CD Reese, we'll say. And that's like a trilogy. Mm-hmm. So it's like sold off to a guy and then married, and it's going, I'm enjoying it. And then I've been reading, well, I haven't really been doing much reading, to be honest with you, but I started Kiss of Death by Mary Elizabeth. Usually I kind of read as she writes, but it didn't work out this time, and so I'm excited to read that one. It's supposed to be really good. That is what I'm reading and listening to.
Cool. I have a bunch of books loaded on my Kindle ready to go, and I'm still, making my way through some books that I started, but I don't know. I feel like if I'm going to read or listen to anything right now, I'm going to listen to something that's like nonfiction, like, I don't know, something that has to do with business, or I don't know, something like that, because that's just where my brain is right now.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll listen to a Christmas one.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Are there Christmas audiobooks?
There are. And actually, I'll tell you my favorite one.
Okay.
Hold on a second, because I got to bring it up. It is called Nick and Noel. I remember Nick and Noel, but what else? Oh my gosh. Sometimes the Audible app, I swear, it's the worst.
It doesn't let you search,
it's
right?
It's so unintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Okay, it's Nick and Noel's Christmas playlist. It's by Cody Hall. It's adorable.
Okay. All right.
And I listened to that one last year, and I just adored it. So
cool.
There you go.
And I also thought about listening to a scary one, since it's almost Halloween.
Oh yeah.
Like a thriller or something, just something different that's spooky, or something like with ghosts, so I can really be afraid of my attic.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I'll have to give you a couple of recommendations, because every Halloween I end up listening to something similar. Last year I listened to like a necromancer one that was pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to go through your little list and send me some favorites, because I can't even find anything right now. I'm just like,
yeah. Well, you got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And look at that beautiful space you created.
I know.
Just sat here the whole hour having space envy.
Oh, well, and
next year I
totally forgot to mention this while I was on here.
Oh yeah.
But for anybody who likes dark romance and creepy crime thriller type stuff, the whole Pretty Little Dolls series box set came out today. So that was
and she is thick.
She shall
I was just saying that.
Yeah, it's a big thick book, and it's so pretty.
Yeah, it is really pretty.
So it's been fun, like listening to everybody. Like we've been having reviews come through for people who read the box set, and it's like reminding us of how it was in the beginning. So
yeah,
exciting.
Everybody loves Benny.
Benny. Maybe we'll see him in a movie one day.
I hope so. Because I need to go to a premiere party.
You know, we ain't gonna do that.
Oh, yes, you will. Whoever makes the movie will make you.
No, I told Jessica I'm gonna send her as my stand-in, and she's gonna get a blonde wig. Because she's really good at schmoozing with people.
Right? That would be awesome.
I'll be like, what is it? On that movie Roxanne, I'll be like in her little earpiece in her ear. Like, say this, do this, tell them about this. Step away from the wine table.
You know, Jessica wouldn't listen to you. Like 5 minutes in, she'd be tossing that thing out of her ear and winging it.
She'd be like, yeah, tossing a little plant when she walks by. Somebody's gonna walk by that plant being like, I have had too much to drink because I swear that plant is talking.
Oh, that's exactly how it would go. Well, we will be back. We kind of had a little accidental break from our 2-week schedule, but hopefully nothing will happen and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yes, we'll do our best.
Fingers.
We're trying.
Yep. So remember to subscribe and on YouTube. And I don't know, do you follow or do you subscribe on Spotify or any of those other ones? I have no idea.
I just think that you subscribe maybe, and it sends you reminders or whatever.
Yeah. And then you'll be alerted every single time we release one of these fun little hours.
Exactly. I know. I feel like, I don't know how people are entertained, but my sister, she says she listens to us all the time, and other people listen to us. And, you know, like I always say, our 40 listeners, they're there for it.
They are. And I just found out last week that my dad is one of them.
What?
Yeah. He's like, I've been listening to your podcast. I'm like, okay, that puts a little bit of pressure on me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you didn't tell me that before we did the recording of this, because I would have felt like so, like, oh my gosh, you know, I would have been proper, been all professional.
Your posture would have been straighter.
Right? Exactly. I would have been slouching in the chair over here, like.
So hi Dad, if you do indeed listen to this will be the test, because if you don't mention this moment to me, then I will know you are a big fat liar.
But if he does, we're going to call him number 41.
Right. Yeah. Follower 41. Yeah. And yeah, we will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank
you for joining us.